Hello, and welcome to Manga Mommies.
A podcast where we chat about, you guessed it, mangas, and occasionally our lives as parents.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Kyo,
And I'm Kel.
and we are your host on the show. We hope you're having a great Monday. So please, would you kindly get a drink, take a seat, and let's chat. Welcome back, everyone. Today we will be discussing digital versus physical copies of manga. Which is better in the long run?
So I guess we can start with our personal preferences one way or the other. Kyo, do you prefer a physical copy or a digital copy?
Honestly, I prefer the physical all the way.
I like having the physical as well, just because then I don't have to rely on technology to actually maintain any sort of subscription service. Or if I download a copy of something, then, it could change, it could go away. Like the site could just be shut down. And then even if you paid for it, you're out the money. So I,
Yeah,
I,
that's
I like the physical books.
Yeah. No, I get it 100%. I've been against digital for a long time, even though now it's somewhat common, more common for digital than physical, just for the simple fact of money wise and, just stuff not printing or even stuff not coming over here to the Western side.
I think a lot of it's space too, with a lot of us that now have to have roommates because of the economy. You can't have bookshelves on bookshelves on bookshelves anymore.
That is true.
So everybody's like, oh, we want to be a minimalist. At least, if I have my Kindle or I have my tablet or I have, whatever web page, I can read 300 manga and not have to physically store 300 manga.
Well, yeah, it's storage, it's price, upkeep as well. You
Mm.
have a lower risk of your manga getting damaged if you're digital.
Yeah, I feel like
Which,
it's the medium too,
Mhm.
where, some people are, it's a lot easier for them to read something on, say, a tablet or a screen where they can adjust the brightness without needing to have like a flashlight if they're reading at night, or they can zoom in and increase the font size or the size of the pictures instead of trying to read maybe these tiny little sentences that are in the back of a frame, whatever
Right.
the heck it's called, panel.
Yeah, panel.
That's the word I wanted.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's one of those that either option is fine. There really isn't a one's better than the other. It is preference. But in the long run, honestly, I would say that if you could get the physical, that would be great, especially out of print copies, because I know those are skyrocketing in price. Because a lot of times those out of print copies aren't even digital.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I mean, I
it's
I definitely think there's pros and cons to both sides of it,
there is. Like I said, it
you
just
know?
depends on how much money you want to spend and how much time you got and how much space you got. There's the money.
Or any sort of accessibility that you require as well.
Yeah, because the downfall with digital is you not having a charger or your digital device breaks.
Mhm. Or, it's sort of an obscure scenario, and I don't know the medical term for it, but I do have a friend of mine who she is dyslexic, but she also is it's almost a form of color blindness where she can't read black writing on white paper. All the way through school, she used to have either we used to joke around they were like her 70s glasses because they were yellow tinted, non-prescription, like round circular. You'd see them in like, the 70s hippie kind of costumes sort of glasses so
Mhm.
that she could read the board or she could read the computer or she could read whatever because she would have to change the white background to something else because
Yeah.
she just couldn't see it. So at least, with the digital, she'd be able to potentially change some of the characteristics of the manga that she was reading in that sense.
Which I can understand. I mean, I have better eyesight when it comes to reading on black than on white, though.
Yeah, I like the inverse too. I like reading the white letters on a black background.
Hmm. Like all of my stuff is inverse. And it makes me mad when I can't get it inverse because I'm like, no, it's not matching.
Dark mode for the
I
win.
go, I go, I go all kinds of crazy.
I had an app for a while when I was reading some stories that it was in dark mode, and dark mode was the exact same as regular mode. And I was like, I'm so mad right now. Like, I don't want to be blinded at 3 in the morning when I can't sleep. No, thank you.
I had to save my documents under regular mode, and it was so hard to switch back and forth because it would send my paper in its other mode, in the mode that I want. What is it, dark mode? And when it would send it, it would actually make the whole paper blank because even the words would be white with the white background. So it looked like I just sent them a blank piece of paper. I'm like,
Please control A and select a different color font.
something, please. I didn't send you, I didn't send you 30 pages of nothing. Like
I swear, I swear.
I mean, it comes down to that. I mean, even now, some series don't even get printed. They just get digitized. And then you have others that just don't go to digital. So it's just depending on what you're wanting to read, I guess also would become with that cuz
Yeah.
it's a good way to discover the smaller titles because unless it's got big enough traction, sometimes it doesn't even make it to print. Or if it is, it's a print only in Japan. I've seen some of those too, or for whatever reason we lose our license over here in America and it don't get the rest of the series don't get brought over. So it's either, read it digital that someone translated for you or learn how to read kanji. I'll take the latter.
I ain't got that kind of time, so I just hope and pray.
No, that's 100% because there is some that I have found out that just didn't continue here, and I have the physical copy, and I could get the rest of it, but I just wouldn't be able to read it efficiently without getting to digital. So
Yeah. Some things are just unnecessarily complicated.
yeah, no, it is 100% true. That's like for the longest time growing up, I wanted to, well, from like high school, maybe, yeah, high school, I wanted to open up a manga coffee shop or manga cafe in town. And the older I got, the more I realized that probably wouldn't have worked out for me in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
But no, I am 100% for if you can get it, afford it, and it does look pretty on a shelf, get the physical copy. I mean, I technically do both, but if I can't afford it, I'll also actually get the first book of the digital, and will sometimes read it for free or at least at a cheaper price. And if I actually like it and want to invest in it, I'll go out and actually find the physical copy. I've done that too.
Yeah, which makes total sense to do. I mean, why are you gonna spend sometimes upwards of, hundreds of dollars on a series if you don't even like it because you had no idea when you bought it and you bought like a collector's edition or a box set or something? Because I know that there's been a couple mangas I've looked at where I can't find the individual manga and it's just easier to buy a box set of it and it's like, well, not
Yeah.
100% sure I even like this.
And not many people have time to just sit in Barnes and Noble or any other bookstore and just sit there and read for a few hours.
Exactly.
Oh, my youth. Miss my youth.
I miss the time I had in my youth to do things. That's where I'm at.
Like, I
Is
have
I
the time, I just don't have means to be able to do it. Jobs
Yeah,
and child caring for and everything else kinda takes up that time.
yep, I agree. Curse being an adult.
Well, I mean, it has its pros and cons. I mean, that's the one thing is when you become an adult, you all of a sudden you got adult money, and a lot of us millennials have discovered that we could buy things that, we couldn't before. Well, until recently when everything started going up in price, and that's kind of like when we started suffering. But that's beside the point.
I have adult money. What am I doing with it? Well.
Right now it's bills and food, and even that's kind of iffy some weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
I know I've been reading a little bit of both of the mangas of the month. I don't know if you've been able to yet or not, Kels.
I did start our dystopian horror one, and I got through, I think, about 6 or 8 chapters on that before I had to put it down.
Yeah.
I was enjoying it.
Oh yeah, it draws you in. I had to pull myself away too because my little one shouldn't be seeing that, so I have to like sneakily do it because they like to look at my phones.
Yes.
What game is mommy playing?
The game you need to not look at.
Pretty much. And now my 7-month-old has weird wake hours at night, so now I'm just as slow at getting sleep as anyone else right now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what a turd.
He's a baby. It happens.
I understand that, but that does not mean he's not a turd.
He thinks it's funny too, because he'll do it. He'll just stay up. And then it's really bad when he wakes up his brother, because then his brother just starts crying out of nowhere. He's just like, "What's going on? Why is my brother upset?" But yeah, it's pretty limited right now when it comes to what you can get physical wise with how much a lot of stuff has gone up. That's why I try to offer the free-ish version. It may not be 100% legal, but it's something.
Yeah.
But if you're
I mean,
paying
we
for
do.
a prescription, subscription, you're paying for a subscription, then just try to find it on there. Make it your money worth.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something where we do try our best to find you the free copies so that you can read along or check it out in your spare time. We do what we can. It's definitely something where it can't always happen, and sometimes we get weird stuff, where we'll find something, but it reroutes to a different page at times, uh,
Or
which is
paywall.
not intentional, or there's a paywall or something else.
Yeah.
But, we do our best, and that's sort of another issue with sometimes with the digital copies is, you can get X amount of chapters for free, and then all of a sudden it's, "Oh, hey, here's the paywalls, here's the everything,"
Yep.
and, sometimes it ends up costing you more than if you were to just purchase the physical copy.
That is true. That's why, I really try with that because I try to give everyone both. Now, I don't think this time around I did yet put it up on the site, but I know I got both of the mangas on the site. I don't think I got the physical or quote unquote Kindle copy up uh for you to purchase if you want. Because like I said, if you can do it, always do it. I mean, don't just
Yes.
so because there is a lot of stuff with licenses and stuff. So
Oh, good.
because I'm still recovering from everything, so that's been kind of fun.
I mean, as you should be.
Well, I'm used to going from 0 to 100, so it's not like I am used to quote unquote relaxing, and that's something I've been having to try to learn to do even more now than I did before.
Well, I mean, they do say that, if you don't relax, your body's gonna make you.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Gonna make you in a hospital bed or in the ground one.
Mhm. I'm so happy for, like, the one tap muting ability on this microphone when I just, like, poke it on the top.
Oh, really?
'Cause I need to stretch, and I know there's gonna be, like, an audible yawn and potentially a crack that's gonna happen at the same time.
Yeah, I figured this one will be more of a shorter episode just because it's not really just us talking.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, there's not a real clear winner when it comes to which way. But, I mean, in the long run, I would say probably, as of right now, the way the economy is, I would probably say digital. But if the economy was a little bit better and inflation wasn't so bad and people weren't upselling everything, I would say go for the digital or I mean not digital, physical. But like I said, it's just the pros and cons you have to weigh in. And personally, it's all by personal preference. It's not really a one size fits all kind of scenario.
No. Although I am curious to know, almost in a poll setting for people who listen to us, whether they prefer the digital copies or whether they prefer physical copies.
Well, that would be
Yeah.
interesting to see. And if I could set that up in Spotify.
Yeah. I think it would be neat to see kind of the poll on that and just because I know we have our preferences and we tend to gravitate towards the same, but it'd be really interesting to see different people's sort of perspectives on it and say, okay, cool. Like, well, why do you like digital over the physical or whatever? Like, which way benefits you more as a reader? I think it'd be interesting to see where everybody falls.
Yeah, because it comes down to whether you're a collector or not too. Because I'm a collector, I prefer to have the physical, but that's because I like to collect. I like to feel the book in my hands. I like to be able to turn the pages. I like the smell of the book. I'm weird, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few that are wear and tear damaged because I had like moved so much and stuff gets packed a certain way and it got packed wrong and it was in storage for so long and I had like a whole thing like that. But it's still, I guess, physically mine as to where like the digital, some of it I do read in digital, but I prefer it. But I can go spend a few $1,000s at a con.
Yeah. I much prefer the physical books because they hurt a lot less when I get tired and drop them on my face.
Yeah, that too.
Because the phone hurts. Tablets hurt.
Yeah.
And the book is not as easy to break on my face as everything else is.
Yeah. For
So,
me, some of it's just the older ones I can't really find on digital. So, and if you can, it's iffy if it has all of it. That's another problem too.
yeah.
But like I used to have a subscription to Shonen Jump. Don't I don't really know if it's still being released in America. I know it is in Japan. But that was something I would always look forward to each month because I would be able to get one and be able to catch up on whatever mangas it was showing for the however long it ran for. They may have changed their sure. I haven't looked
I'm not
into it
sure.
in so long.
Well, I know when we were doing research about last month's manga of the month, I did come across a couple articles that were still talking about Shonen Jump. So I'm assuming that it's still a thing, or if it's
And
not, it was very recently now not a thing.
Shonen Jump Weekly was or still is a big thing in Japan. That's focused. I'm talking about like the release in America. So like in America, I think it actually did originally stop in like 2016 maybe when they stopped like
Maybe.
publishing it, and I think now it's all digital if it is still out. So again, I could be completely wrong. That's fine. But I do know that I had stopped around that time even trying to subscribe to them.
Yeah, that's fair. I've never held a subscription with them, so I wouldn't know beyond a little bit of research I was doing. So
Yeah, a lot of people that's how they got into Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z. Um Sailor Moon wasn't featured in it, I don't think. Personally I like D and Angel. But that one is one of the ones that was, I believe, released in its completion in Japan and it stopped production in America for unknown reasons. So it's kind of like, eh, you know, gotta hope that somebody's translated it somewhere, and that's a really big if because it takes a lot to translate and retype in stuff for that. I give them a lot of props for it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, anytime I've ever looked at an anime or even, a manga and everything, and it's like you see the release date in Japan or whatnot, and then you see the release date in North America or the English translation in North America, and it's like years later, and it's like, I get why.
Yeah, it's
I
translations
100%.
and editing and all that fun stuff and licenses and property and ugh, a whole bunch of business. Whole bunch of business.
And then if it goes to anime, the voice actors.
Oh, it's a whole other department.
Yeah.
That's why I
It's
say purchase if you can because it does help the process. Because yeah, I can give you the free copies, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's technically legal.
Yep.
Copyright, even though I'm not saying it's mine, but copyright's a thing. So, you go anything we offer you and it shows up a site been removed and it got taken away. And let me know because I don't always check everything every day. So,
We try to guarantee some sort of access, but we can't guarantee whatever longevity of the free stuff it is.
pretty much, that's all for you to do because I don't have anything site wise. And that would be great to have one day, but kind of like my own cafe shop, but online. That'd be nice.
That would be cool.
Hmm. Yeah, manga cafes are really great. You pay like, a few bucks for a few hours and you can just read whatever you want and you can have coffee while you read and I love those places. But it's not a great idea, especially where I live at. It's not a big deal for it to be, I guess, profitable. I would have to go out toward, I'd say Atlanta in order to get it done.
Yeah.
And that would be even still pushing it because it would be interesting to have, but that would also take a lot of money to just buy the manga just to have it in stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be quite a costly thing.
Well, if we ever win the lottery or, get enough sponsorships.
Maybe. Never know.
Pipe dream.
Oh yeah. Dream big, start small. What I was always told.
Yep.
I hate that I'm covered in bruises. I hate the blood thinners they put me on. I wake up with a new bruise every day. I don't even know where the hell it came from.
Probably one of the offspring the day before.
Probably. That or just me in my sleep. I do tend to toss and turn with some weird dreams sometimes, so. But
Fair enough.
yeah, I look like I've gotten in a fight with a bear or beaten up or something.
That's fair. I hear my cat trying to scratch his cone off.
Oh.
I don't feel bad for him. I have been trying for a month to get this cat to stop clawing the shit out of his ear. The problem is like he's in a soft cone. It's not like a hard plastic cone.
Mhm.
It's fabric, but he ripped up like the entire back of the like his one ear. And like I have ointment cream for it and that gets put on it. But when I need to order another cone is what I need to do because when I take the cone off to wash it, unless somebody is literally sitting there stopping him from immediately scratching, he will rip it right open again. So it's been this never ending battle of like, how do I keep him away from it? And I
Yeah.
have tried everything. Like I bought vet wrap and everything, but he manages to like rub the vet wrap where he can still reach like one of the ends of the thing. I'm like, I don't know how to wrap this. If it was over the ear that didn't have an eyeball on that side, because he is a one-eyed cat, I would just vet wrap over the entire eye, but of course, he's gotta fuck up the ear that's, with the good eye, and it's not like I can be like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna, like, temporarily close that eye for you," because I will just blind the cat.
Yeah.
Right. It's great.
Yeah, totally. Whole bunch of fun.
Yeah, so I can just hear him, like, as he's scratching, the cone's just going around in a circle. Quack, 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 quack.
I feel that poor thing.
Like, I feel for him and I don't, because he'll stare right at me with his one eye and he slowly brings the paw up, like he's just watching me and I'm like, "I know you think I'm trying to punish you, but I swear to you, I'm trying to heal your face."
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
I wish
much.
you just understood this. Like, it shouldn't be this hard.
Oh, I get that.
Like, I'm at this point, I'm pretty sure that whatever, like, FBI agent watches my search history probably has a lot of questions. Because it's everything from how to vet wrap cat ear to I was listening to a murder documentary about like a billionaire in Korea too. So I started Googling stuff about that. So it's like serial killers and, random murder documentaries and products used to clean up blood and things. And it probably looks like I'm trying to like commit a murder. And then it's like vet wrap, bandages, how to bandage with vet wrap. And they're probably just like, what is going on? Like, this woman must be insane.
No, no, I feel that. Mine would be random
And then
ass topic.
immediate this is all like immediately after I spent a solid probably day reading about our dystopian horror manga.
Yeah, I think
So
that was
so it's like, oh my God, she was inspired. Something has gone severely wrong.
well, I don't. Yeah, that one's kind of a little bit on the
Horrific.
yeah, well, yeah, and it kind of hits home a little bit somewhat because it's just kind of like, ugh, I can't get into it right now, but
Yep.
there is no warnings. Yeah, there was a lot of choices for the manga of the month. We had like a big old list. It was so hard to pick.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, I think we spent probably at least a half hour just
Yeah, and
looking over things because we wanted to make sure that everything either was sort of neat and tidied up or it wasn't just discontinued for no reason or there wasn't like some sort of a cliffhanger that made no sense and
yeah, and I spent a few days just looking up stuff. So it was research and more research and there's a mini one that I may post up sometime this month. I may end up including it with one of the synopsises that we do at the end of the month. So, but I may put that up as a bonus one because it's like one chapter wrong. It's the butcher one I was telling you about because that one is really good. And it literally is like one chapter long. It's not that long at all, and it's very detailed for it being one chapter.
Mhm.
'Cause you feel for the guy. Like, I shouldn't, but I do because he does this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, we'll probably end up sharing, like, what didn't make the cut, but was on the hot list of, or I guess short list, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, or we can save them for next year.
Mhm. So many options.
There is, and I think that's why I like our podcast because it's just there's so many topics, there's so many mangas we could do. There's just so much we can do. And I know there's other podcasts that do manga too. I'm not over here going, we're the only one. No. I get it 100%, but I feel like we're just a little bit different than the others for certain reasons.
Mhm. I mean, I think we definitely are a little bit crazier on the side conversations.
Well, yeah.
And that's only what people actually hear.
Right.
It's not the stuff where, it's been cut out and edited out because it's crazy, and it's like, "Ooh, that's definitely too far."
Yeah. That is true. There is stuff that I have edited. Well, there's two ways of it. The stuff that's either just a hard no or just for other reasons we just cut it. Yeah. Like I said, I like to do more story times in the future. Comes to past and stuff. That'd be fun. Trauma bombing, y'all.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, maybe do like a live and video games, and that'd be fun too.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely think that that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. That or a Patreon, in the future, maybe a Patreon that, we sit down and watch different things. We have a little watch party and we have a discussion afterwards, and
Mhm.
maybe that'd be fun too. There's a lot. And this is a short episode anyway, that's why we're off topic randomly, is because it's such a short episode, because there really isn't a
Yeah.
choice between two. It's just personal preference.
I definitely think at some point in the future, we do need to release a blooper reel of
Ooh.
just all of the terrible shit we have said wrong.
I'm not ready for that.
So I said in the future.
No. Mm. I don't think anybody wants to listen to like 20 minutes of me just cussing because I can't get it right. Or
I mean, you never know.
that is true.
I mean, people wanna listen to us anyway right now, so
Uh,
or
well,
person.
I think we got like one or two more followers since then.
Yeah.
Considering I had to completely redo our YouTube, and I've had to completely redo a few episodes for Spotify because stuff didn't get transferred over from one host to another like I was hoping. Not going to go too much into that because of just reasons, but it honestly felt like I was fighting with Apple again. And if you want to hear that story, then you need to go on back to episode 2. Go back and listen to that fun. Because I don't. Once I publish them, I really don't go back and listen to them again. I need to, but I just don't.
Yeah. I mean, even for me, usually I get the audio, like, if I'm lucky the night before it goes live, or sometimes it's just I get the "It's live," and I get to listen to it with everybody else. So it's usually fun to play the game of what did she keep in?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like do anything terrible. I'm not gonna be that mean.
No, but I mean, we talk
Yeah.
about so much, and we usually have a few hours worth of recordings per episode, even if it's just nonsense.
Yeah, that's
So
that's typically why I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I'll post it. I'll run through it, like I'll finish it, and then I'll run through it one last time just to make sure everything's at least has the beginning and the end added to it, and then and make sure the audio's not all over the place, because that's one thing that I am nitpicky about is how the audio is set up, because I can't stand it if it's too loud. I can't stand it if it's too soft.
I mean, I'd say it's pretty balanced considering we're on opposite ends of, like, North America.
I know that's my movie magic for you.
The power of the internet, boys and girls.
Yeah, when you have a great connection and on the fly learning editing skills like I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's been interesting.
If you made it this far in the episode, we want to say thank you. We couldn't do this without your support. If you'd like to subscribe and become an official Manga Mommies member, the link will be in the show notes. For Manga of the Month, the PDF, copy, or free website will be located below. If you feel up to it, like, subscribe, or share our podcast so we can find more people just like you. We hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever time that happens to be, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Stay tuned, and thanks for listening.